Howdy guys, itzOniKyle here, and today we have a video of what my thoughts are on this season's weapon meta, what they could lead to, go into the specifications and changes of each weapon. I hope you all enjoy this video. Let's get right into it. First off, I feel like this meta is going to be aggressive. We saw this last season that they buffed the Peacekeeper and even the Mozambique, which received consistency buff, which is why people are being hit with trucks with value as high as 110 with only one shot. We saw the Mastiff being packaged and returning to an overall disgusting state, and now we are seeing the Eva's fire rate being improved as well as having stock, meaning every shotgun is going to be absolute fire-breathing dragon, but each having a different way to play. The RE45 and the Devotion are both going to the Replicator, so almost every floor weapon is going to be cracked this season. We're reaching a totally new wave of gameplay with if you pick up a gun, it will always mean you have a fighting chance. Like, yeah, a P2020 isn't ideal, but most of the other guns will give you the ability to either one clip with good aim or do massive damage with a single blow type weapon. I wouldn't want to necessarily say this is aggressive meta, but as long as you have an above average gun skill, you will be able to really up and transform your game. Everything I'll be going over in the detailed portion of this video is going to break down the numbers and the reworks of weapons and what I think they'll look like, so I won't be going over every weapon like the R301 and Flatline and so on and so forth. But for starters, I just want to say I love the buff to the Eva. The Eva is different in the sense that it's a spray down kind of weapon. If you pair it with some nice sliding movement, you can probably do quite a bit of damage to multiple targets and get out quickly. Get out with like a Wraith Q, a Horizon Q, an Octane, a Pathfinder, just some movement character. The stock being introduced allows for quicker reloads, I think is a great bonus. This gives you more of a chance of popping a mag, taking cover to reload really quickly, and then be right back in the action to say glory. And I think that's going to be fantastic. Double tap is coming back, so if this new Eva truly is quick and you manage to hit your shots, you can probably tap your trigger only twice and the person could die with purple, and even with red armor if you hit a couple headshots. The Eva can do 54 damage on a body and 4 shots could do 216 damage. The Eva will be shooting ridiculously fast if you're having a point blank range. Truth be told, you can probably kill an enemy that holds a car, which a car's DPS is 202, meaning if you get, in 1 second, it will kill a purple armored enemy. So 2 taps of an Eva with the new fire or the firing rate buff, I think it really could compete with the car at close range and probably win. I think it's a great combo that you could do as an Eva Volt, giving you a nice mid to short range domination, allowing for a little bit of range with the Volt, of course. I'm super excited to see the Volt on the floor. The Volt is pretty much like the R301 of submachine guns. It's smooth, consistent, and satisfying as fuck. It has amazing range for what it is and dominates mid to short range fights. And I believe pairing with the Eva and aggressive gameplay will yield amazing results on a stack squad. The G7 is also returning to floor loot, which is a very reliable high damage weapon, giving you quite a bit of range while also having a nice hipfire and overall great damage output. The G7 may not be the best weapon this season, but this weapon will be a menace in many scenarios. The G7 overshadowed the 3030 when it first was released, but the 3030 has come a long way, and this season I think it's going to be nasty. With the return of Skull Pierce, the 3030 is going to compete and in my opinion outshine the G7 this season as the marksman rifle go-to. Skull Piercer in the past increased Windman's multiplier from 2 times to 2.25 and the longbow from 2 times to 2.5 times. At this time, the 3030's headshot multiplier is 1.75, and I'm going to go under the assumption it's going to go to 2 times with the Skull Piercer, which could be higher or a little bit lower. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to use 2 times as a good point of reference. The base damage, not charged up, is 42 damage. If someone has maxed out helmet and you hit 4 headshots, you can kill someone with red evo as the equation. 42 parentheses 0.65 plus 0.35 times 2, which should equal out to 226.8. That is the equation you want to use. If the base damage is the X value, the Y damage is the headshot multiplier. I found this on the wiki page. I'm going to leave the link in the description. You guys can check out all that stuff there. But this is just like the best of the best scenario. 4-shotting someone with red evo is possible, but you're probably not going to do it. But this is just if you guys are in point blank range with the 3030's pretty nasty hipfire, it's realistic that you could win a gunfight like that. But realistically, I suppose you could say you're up against an enemy with purple shield and a white helmet. If you have a charged up 3030 shot ready and to go, and you get a headshot, we can plug it into the other equation, 57 in parentheses, 0.2 plus 0.8 times 2 equals 102.6 damage, meaning with one shot of a 30-30, you can start a fight with broken purple armor on the enemy, which is a pretty realistic scenario considering not many people in pubs actually craft helmets. This season, by the way, please make sure to craft the purple helmet in the replicator when you see it, because it will determine the turn of fights in an instant. So just a heads up, it's going to be nasty this season. You guys really want to watch out for that because of Skull Piercer. And speaking of Skull Piercer, the longbow will make a return, as I said before, 2 to 2.5 times headshot damage. 2.5 times headshot damage. It's going to go crazy this game. And I'm assuming because of the bow check getting packaged, Deadeye's tempo will also no longer be floor loot, which will in turn give the Sentinel a little bit of a nerf, which makes me assume longbows are going to be seen a lot more this season. It's probably going to be the go-to sniper. I want to give a shout out to the Windman. I never knew how they'd nerf it, but in all honesty, I think they did a pretty good job. I saw many Apex players talk about how they killed it, but they put it in a weird position. The Windman is iconic and has always been strong. Its damage output and speed is nasty, and by putting the Windman as a sniper, it makes it a weapon where you can't be using it the whole game just dinking people. I mean, if you pick up 3 stack of heavy for it, you'll be good to use it at any amount. 180 bullets in that. You can just fire around anywhere you go and save ammo till the end game, no problem. With the position it is right now, is that it will stay dominant as a weapon, but now you have to conserve it and use it when you're actually engaging in fights. It's not something I would have actually thought about, but in all honesty, it works great, and I can see why they made it this way. They want the Windman to still be the monster it was always meant to be, but for people to hold back and just not spam. Now if you have 2 stacks of sniper ammo, you'll have 48 Windman bullets. Enough for a squad or 2 when engaging, but not enough to just spray it across the map and get free damage. So I hope you guys can see why I think this season is going to be fun and refreshing. Of course, you have the Earth 301, Flatline, Car 99, etc. that are also already good. I just want to go over the weapons that I think will rise to the top. Don't forget about the laser sight, which reduces hipfire spread on subs, which should make the short range gunfights even faster and crazier. In all honesty, I'm excited for this season. Having everything strong is going to create for creative plays and setups compared to making everything bad. That's all I have for you folks today. I hope you all enjoyed my thoughts. Let me know what y'all think. Please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't, and adios, legends.